A very important property associated with a string. Strings are immutable. What is the meaning of this? Let me explain using an example. You consider the string s is equal to Monday, Tuesday. Certainly in the computer's memory it is stored like this. You know that. And forward indexing is there, backward indexing is there. You know this. Now suppose if you want to replace this comma with a space. So for the first character the index is 0, or s of 0 will give you the first character of the string. So if I write s of 0, what do you get? You get capital M. Similarly, if I write s of 6, what do you get? You get the character comma. So suppose if you want to replace this comma with a space, can you write like this? S of 6 is equal to, inside double quotes, can you write a space? You may think that assignment operator means right hand side is assigned to left hand side. So space is assigned to s of 6. So you may think that here space character will appear, but it is not the case, because strings are immutable. You cannot change the content of a string. So if you try to perform this operation, it results in an error. Okay, you can see. Let me try it in the computer. So s is equal to, inside double quotes, Monday, Tuesday. And if I write s of 6 equals space, okay, and if I try to make use of print s, see, when you run the program you can see it results in an error. What's the type of error generated? Type error, wrong use of data type. Okay, what is data type? The type of data that a variable points to. So here s is pointing to a string, and for a string assignment operation is not allowed. You cannot modify the content of a string. You cannot modify the content of a string. Technically speaking, strings are immutable. That's a technical term to be made use of. So this will result in an error. Now suppose here you want to insert space character. What is the method? The method is okay. Now you can extract this much part of the string using string slicing. You can extract this much part of the string. So it is s of 0 to 5, isn't it? So let me write the code. Okay, so s1 equals, see, another string variable. Okay, not s. s1 equals s of 0, 6. What's the meaning of this? This slicing operator returns all the characters starting with the index 0 and ending with the index 6 minus 1, 5. So you get all the characters from 0 to 5. Okay, now that should be concatenated with a space. Okay, and that should be concatenated with the remaining characters. So how do you get this much part of the string? Starting with the index 7 and ending with upper index. Okay, so how can you write the slicing operator? You can write like this, s of 7 colon. So if you don't write the second index, by default it is the upper index. Okay, so starting with index 7 till the end, you get this one. So now your string variable s1 contains the string with the space here, and certainly s1 should be displayed. And remember, there is no change in s. Okay, there is no change in s. You can run the program and see the answer. See, for s1 space appears and there is no change in s. Now one more thing. Suppose here you write s equal to s1. Let us see what happens. Okay, see, the reason is now s is pointing to the memory location s1. Okay, so now s contains a space character, which means this is gone. In your program, you cannot access this anymore because now your S is pointing to S1. So that's the reason why S1 is pointing to the string with the space at the middle. S is pointing to S1. So S also contains space at the middle. And now there is no way to access this string. It's gone. Okay, like this you can do. So you cannot change the individual content of a string because strings are immutable. It's a very important point. Underline this. Okay. Now my last point. Suppose multiple statements are there. Okay. Suppose you want to write these two statements in the same line. This is the correct way of writing it. If you want to write them in the same line, see like this. Now if you run the program, you can see error because indentation is not correct. You know that. Now if you are very particular to write them in the same line, the statement should be separated using semicolon. Okay, and now if you run the program, no error. But for the exam, don't follow this method. Or that's not the good method. I prefer this. Okay, always use this method. But please understand, if you write multiple statements in the same line, they should be separated using semicolon.